Alright guys, so Bitcoin continues to create all-time new highs, currently at $117,000. Alright, what I want to do is I want to go back to 2017-18, and we want to go back and do a impulse analysis. And what this is going to do is it's going to show us in real time, well not real time, but how these targets for the Fibonacci extension tool is being utilized. Alright, so I'm going to take it from here on up to here, and we're going to bring it back down. Alright, and we're going to go through, and we're going to look at these targets as they were hit. Alright, so we had 2000, was it 18, 17 of December. Alright, and then it took from December 20th, 2020, I mean, so what, basically 3 years for it to break, well, not break, but meet its first extension. All right, so that's 24,521, and then we went on in 2021 and hit the 30,716, and then we hit 48,000, which is extension number 3, and then extension number 4 we went on and hit in 2021 of October, and then extension 5, which is the final, we hit in November of 2024. Okay, all right, so that based off of 2017, all their targets have been met. All right, so now we're in a new cycle. All right, so we're gonna utilize this one now. We're gonna use this impulse. Okay, so with this particular impulse, from here to here. All right, so targets number 1 and 2 have already been achieved. So based off this impulse, the next one is 161,854. Now that doesn't mean it's going to go there overnight, right? So it could take, the other ones took 2 or 3 years, right? It could take that. I don't know, but with all the institutional, pressure coming in and policy, it may change, right? So, but based off what we just measured, that impulse, this is target number 3. Target number 4 is 216,140. Then target number 5 will be 249,689, and that is all predicated upon just this impulse. Now, as with anything, you can continuously measure impulses. All right, so this is an impulse. I can measure this, and based off of that, all right, this is the most recent impulse. We can do this. So based off of this impulse, the next logical area for Bitcoin to go to is 125.74. Okay, then you got 146.44. You got 206.269, 266.094, and then $303,066. All right, so that's extension number 5. And that's based off of, once again, this particular impulse wave. And this is on a daily chart, so it's going to look a little different, right? But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. Now, potential pullbacks. Because we have impulses, we can measure these impulses, all right? These are our retracement levels. All right, we will continue following this until it has a point where it officially pulls back. All right, so this is where we're at right now. If we do pull back, these are the levels that it can pull back to. So let's say we have a 61% pullback. We're going back down to 90,935, a 70%, 87,000 some change, and then 78, around 83,540, 47, somewhere in there. All right, so that's what you would have to consider just off this impulse. Okay. Now, we can go back and we can look at previous impulses as well. Like, for instance, take this impulse. All right. There we go. Do this. And you see how we came back to the 61%. based off of that. So that was a clean one. All right, let's take this impulse right here, and they're not always going to come back to the 61%. All right, but a lot of times they do. We did get one right here again, 61% pullback. We went up here to a high of 73, 74 something $1,000, and we pulled all the way back down here to around 49,424. But the 61% was at the 51,973. All right, cool. All right. You can measure impulses and you don't get anything. So like, let's say we this impulse right here. When I say not anything, you don't get that deep 61% retracement. So it doesn't automatically mean you're gonna get that. Okay, but here we go. Let's take this impulse. And imagine this is similar to what we see right now. We up here to 117,000, but of course this is at 49,000, and then we pull back. We pull back a little bit beyond the 38%. All right, we almost get to the 50. We reverse, so it's a 38,552, and then it went on and ripped. So what does that look like? If we were back over here, and for whatever reason, if we did get a almost a little bit beyond a 38% pullback, we're looking at about a 108, and then you can rip. All right, so that's that. If anything, you always want to play both sides. What does it look like if it continues, or what if it looks like that it corrects? Regardless, Bitcoin is here to stay. To me, you should probably treat Bitcoin like the S&P 500. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the S&P, and we're going to continuously see that the S&P, and let's go to the logarithmic, so it looks a little better. And yeah, so if you look, I'm going all the way back. You see how I'm going all the way back. You know, I'm in the 80s now. I'm going back to my birth year, 1983. All right, 82, 83. Look at the constant grind up. You know, you're gonna have sharp corrections here and there, but for the most part, it's trending up. This is what we're probably going to see with Bitcoin. It's going to just continue trending up. And the mathematics behind it, it just makes sense. Even with these catastrophic, drop-offs that we had in 2008, okay, regardless, it's the S&P 500. You basically betting on, the top 500 in the market, the whole market for the most part. And Bitcoin really acts as if it's the crypto index, all right? And that's exactly what it is. It's going to be the king. There's no second to that. So with that being said, this trajectory that you see in the S&P 500, I'm pretty sure back in the 80s when, my parents had me, if they could look into the future over in this area in the 80, in 83, this is around, my birth area, it was at $148 and some change for S&P 500. I'm pretty sure they would have looked, if they could look in the future and be like, wow, the S&P is at $6,280.47 in 2025. Wow, we should have loaded up for our family back then, right? Well, that's going to be similar to what people probably are going to say when they look at Bitcoin. All right, and then you're going to have other cryptocurrencies that's going to emerge as well, too. And that's going to show the same trajectory. And so I would recommend, you do have some exposure to it. You can use some of the altcoins to basically convert over into BTC so you can accumulate as much as possible. I think every family should have a holdings company where they're holding an X amount of crypto assets. You can create your own internal indexes for your families, and you can continue to add to those indexes by sending those cryptocurrencies to a specific wallet, and in every pay period you just accumulate. That's the best way to do it, to go long term out instead of short sighted. All right, so it's a lot of people who are just looking to get rich off this particular cycle, and they're not looking at the long game. And once again, can you handle these sharp sell-offs that could happen, just like we have here at S&P, you know, a 21% drop, you know, in stock world. That's big, right? Over here, February 2022, we had a continuous, seemed like we were just about to give back all those gains that happened in the pandemic, right? But then, you know, 27% then went on a rally. So can you handle Bitcoin volatility? If you can, you'll be good to go. If you can't, hey, go find you something boring that's conservative and give you a little bit of something. I mean, hey, it may not be for you. But other than that, man, hit the like button, subscribe. It's your boy E White. Y'all have a great one.